evening and
Hey,
welcome to Coffee and Tea. I'm Ace tonight, and with me tonight is, of course, the Miss Sandy. How you doing, honey?
I'm good. How you doing?
Oh, going through the normal summer upgrades that we get used to. And, this is stuff that it's part of the psychic business, but it's also part of every small business, especially when you're tech based, and we are tech based. You have to go through upgrades. You know,
Absolutely. Yes.
you know, and people, go, well, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it does. Like, systems manifest and, connect on your tech service. If your stuff is crap, you can't use it. It has
Exactly.
issues.
Exactly. On a connection, you've got to up. If we're in the business that we're in, we
Hmm.
have to keep our equipment up to
Yeah,
date. It's
yeah,
imperative. We can't mess around. We can't say, "I want to use my phone for 5 years and I want to use my computer for 5 years and I don't care if it's slow." If we do that, we start losing business.
yeah,
We have to upgrade. We have to keep up to date with all the tech
right.
because our platform Keen is
Hmm.
keeping up to, or our platforms are keeping up to date with their tech. So
Yeah,
we have to stay interactive with them.
right.
Definitely.
And I, being, in the coaching position that I've been in with advisors, and I guess so, how fast is your internet? Oh, I'm running 20 meg. I'm running the cheapest internet out there. You can't do that. And they're like, it doesn't matter. Think about it. You got to shuffle your cards fast to top. You got to have that strong internet connection. And, so many small businesses are falling behind in tech, you know, in like using TikTok, in using Facebook. They're running around with computers that are 5 and 6 years old. That doesn't
Correct.
work.
You got to keep all your tech up to date. I renew my laptops every 2 or 3 years, 2 years maybe.
2 years
Have
at
to
that.
because it's like everything's people don't realize that memory and everything that goes with the net with your computer, all of that upgrades, and
Hmm.
so eventually your memory is not strong enough, and certain circuits aren't strong enough, and
Right.
it just doesn't work properly anymore, and pages don't load anymore, and and the motherboard fries, and that's the end of your computer. It
Well,
just
it does. And that is psychic energy.
Yeah. And so you have to keep it updated. And the quality of the computer you buy is also important. Like I bought a Microsoft Surface and I regret it now.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back to Dell and buy a Dell laptop.
Right.
They're the best for me, for what I want.
For
I don't
you.
want a desktop. I like a
Right.
laptop. This is more like a tablet, but I
Hmm.
want something more portable. And it's
Right.
okay if I go traveling, I'm going to use it. But
Right.
for at home, I want a sturdy, solid, powerful laptop.
Well, and I highly recommend you looking at Alienware.
Pardon?
The brand Alienware, it's owned by Dell, but it's
Alienware, yes.
newer computers that are built faster. Hi, Miss
Yes.
Brenda. How you doing, darling? It's like my desktop is a gamer system. Like I don't need it all its flashing bells and whistles. I need its speed and its capacity. My Ava's laptop, we're turning it into my other desk because it's gotten to the point I need two desks. Because I'm tired of looking at four walls. I prefer to look at eight different walls.
Right.
Um, but it's super fucking, loaded. You
Good.
know, eight gigs of RAM. I was looking at Walmart tonight. You cannot start this business anymore with a Walmart computer.
No, you cannot. And
No.
that's right. I have to upgrade my computer, and I'll be probably doing that in about a month or so.
Right.
I need to upgrade it. I keep has to get, here I am stuck between a rock and a hard place because I need to earn more in
Uh
order to
huh.
upgrade my computer, and I'm earning less.
Uh
So
huh.
I don't want to break into my savings.
Right.
So, but what can I do? I can't have it
Well, if
both
they're getting ready
ways.
to go on sale, they always do. Shop smart.
Yeah,
Back to school sales are getting ready to come on.
correct. So it's around September or late August.
Late August.
Dell's always got some good deals around late August.
Right. And, buy smart. Look at what you need. You want memory, you want speedy Wi-Fi connection. Like if they've got the clocker on it, and you want a good hard drive. You think you don't store a lot of documents, but you do.
You do, and you need a solid. Yeah, you exactly think like I do when it comes to tech. I always look at those things, and this is the first time when I bought the Surface. I thought let me just try one of these, fads with these new things that come out, and I'm
Yeah.
disappointed. I'm not
Yeah.
happy with it, and it's not what I'm used to. It's not the powerful thing that I'm used to,
Right.
and I'm going to go back to get. I'm going to go with Dell, and I'm going to go with the what you suggested.
Yeah, the Alienware one. But and people, you recently. Well, tell them what you done.
Sorry,
Tell them what you done.
with my router and everything.
Yeah. Tell
Oh,
them what you done. You would think that Sandie had done something good, but it's like, no, Sandie, that don't work.
look,
I done it.
whole
I done it
story.
myself.
It's a story. Okay, so I'll start from A. A, we like to have our own equipment, our own modem, our own router. We don't like to rent from the company, our internet service provider. We had a reasonable speed with our Wi-Fi, but then as our websites and the internet gets bigger and needs more power, we need to upgrade our stuff because my grandson needs it, I need it, right? So my daughter, it's in her name, so she upgraded to the highest speed you can get.
Right.
However, our router and our modem was not supporting that speed.
Right.
Especially our modem. Our modem was not supporting it. So we used their router modem. We rented theirs, and when we rented theirs, everything was smooth, no spotty connection. Not the signal was strong, and it was really great. And then we decided, why pay them when we can have our own router?
Right.
So now we bought our own router, and now everything went back to spotty again, even though it's a really powerful, expensive router. It's $500 router modem combined. So now we're going to experiment and go back to the ISP's equipment to see if that changes. And I bet it will, because once we use their equipment, they're happy.
Right.
They support that. They'll do whatever it takes in order to maintain our speed.
Right.
And we're at, I think, is it megabytes or gigabytes, which I always get it confused.
Gigs. You should be at gigs, hopefully.
We're at 1 gig.
Cool. You're at the same thing I am.
Yeah. So, and the efficiency isn't, on 1 gig, Bastion's got really great efficiency because he's got internet. He's attached completely directly to the modem.
Right.
I haven't got the same speed he has because I'm not directly connected.
Right.
But, however, once we get, I'm confident that once we get there, go back to renting their equipment, they'll support that, and I'll get high speed again.
Right.
And then I'm going to return the Netgear, which is a very good quality product, Netgear.
Yeah, we got the same one.
But I'm going to return it nevertheless.
And that's okay. I mean, return it, see if Optimum's equipment works for you. But make sure, write it in your planner that August of 2024, exchange router.
Right.
You can't let it gain dust on you.
No, but the thing, Optimum will have to update they'll have to send us an updated version of their router or what they're using.
Right, so, but you have to tell them.
Yeah, and we will.
Yeah.
When we just updated recently to 1 gig, and they've got to send us the router, and we had their router and modem that supported the 1 gig. And I think everything was going really smooth, no spotty connections or anything.
Right.
But when we put our router modem in, totally failed.
Yeah.
We were on the phone to them all day today, yesterday, day before. 3 days it's all been going on, and for 3 days we've had very spotty connection. It irritates the hell out of me. I can't stand it,
Right. And you would think, well, you're in New York, you got your cell phone. It doesn't matter. It takes both.
It takes both. People don't get that. People don't get that. People think, oh, you got your phone. No, the phone, yes, I can get key, but I need both. I need the internet connection.
Yeah.
Especially with the phone calls, because the phone calls go through the computer to my phone. That I know it sounds complicated, but I feel that's what happens. It's the server
Right.
sends it to the computer, then the computer sends it to my phone. Whereas
Hmm.
chat is directly with the phone, but I still
Right.
have to have a strong connection.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
It's
Hi,
yeah.
Miss Shannon. Hi, Brenda. Hi, Devin.
Hey,
Welcome
everybody
back
can
to the
see everybody's comments.
Yeah.
Hey, I can't respond. Written
Well, they hear us
they,
respond. They're
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
um, but no, and this is something that's really hard to get people and business owners, especially, to understand. Your tech either makes or breaks your business now. Like
Correct.
it's more important than like paying the power bill.
Yeah. It's very important, and it is very difficult to make people understand that
Hmm.
the whole thing of it.
Right.
And because I'm older now,
Yeah.
I get heard less. You would think that because I'm older, I'm wiser, and people will
Right.
listen. No,
No.
and what they don't realize, what my grandson doesn't realize, even my daughter, I was the one that put her computer together in the very early days of the
Right.
internet, and I'm the one I had to learn all the jargon, and I'm the one I had to learn how to navigate
Uh huh.
and get computer savvy really fast because I'm the one that had to control everything, and
Hmm.
and because of Keen, I stayed on top of it. I had to stay
Right.
on top
You
of it,
have to.
and
Yeah.
so they think, well, because you're old, you don't know anything. Well, yes, I do,
Yeah.
and especially when it comes to the tech stuff. And my grandson will often turn around and say, "I'm sorry, Grandma, you were right."
Yeah. And it's like,
So,
yeah, I've been building this for 100 years.
yeah,
Yeah.
and yes, it changes, but
Yeah.
the basic foundation of it doesn't change. That
Right.
makes sense. Yeah,
Packets getting lost is not a good thing. Slow net is not a good thing. And that's when you got to be on top of it, And, I think that's something that people get stuck in. And I'm not only talking about tech, but I'm talking about their life too.
yes,
They get stuck in that same,
that
it's this,
upgrade.
yeah, it is what it is. And it's like, hmm what's your thoughts on that?
Well, it varies. I mean, some people suffer from high anxiety,
Hmm.
which makes them afraid of change.
Right.
People like to be what they get in a rut because they get into a routine.
Hmm.
They want to break the rut, but then
Right.
they're too afraid to change.
Hmm.
So they get themselves in this heightened state of anxiety.
Right.
And what I know that change is scary, and it is scary. It really is. But sometimes you have to take the risk. If
Right.
if you're in a situation where your relationship is failing and continually failing, and everything you try just doesn't work anymore, maybe it's time to face the need to change a
Right.
job, a relationship, or where you live,
Right. How you live.
how you live. Don't get if you're stuck in a rut and you want, what's my life purpose? I'm stuck in this rut. I'm stuck. You're not stuck. You're just afraid to change.
Hmm.
You're afraid to get out there and take the risk and change, and that's
Right.
that holds people back.
Right. And I think it holds them back because, and I see men do this all the time in relationships. And it's, they get into what they think they have to do for the relationship. You know, take out the garbage, pick her up dinner on Tuesday, whatever. Whatever the thing is. And then when it changes, it takes them a moment to catch up. But
Right.
the women are going, you should know what you should automatically be doing this. Everyone knows to do this. And it's like, no, everyone doesn't.
Communication is the key to a good relationship of any type.
Right.
As much as we feel that we're intuitive, and as much as we feel we might be telepathic to a degree, right?
Hmm. Right.
People cannot read your mind.
Right.
And so you can't expect someone to know something that you haven't told them.
Right.
It's like if you don't know what a pregnant woman is, even if one's standing right in front of you, you won't know
Right.
if no one tells you,
Right.
right? So if a person in a relationship has needs and they're not being met,
Hmm.
simply sit down and talk about them.
Right.
Don't
Very.
get into a big argument over some useless minor thing and then turn that into your needs not being fulfilled and they should have known better.
Right. And, clients do not like this. A lot of times when I'm like, leave them alone. Like, you've not even given them time to even talk, much less, figure out what they want out of this relationship. What's your feedback on that?
Oh, that's drives me crazy. They don't. They I get this thing of I don't know why I left me. Actually, I saw something on TikTok that's going to really
Yeah.
make this more effective. This it's a little caricature of this guy and girl, and they're talking. And she says, "You left." She's saying to him, "You left me for her. What has she got that I don't have? And how dare you do this to me?" Blah blah blah. And finally, she stops screaming at him,
Uh huh.
and finally lets him get a word in. And he said, "Because she's softer than you.
Right.
She's not putting me down all the time and calling me names and not listening and making demands and controlling and what,
Right.
right." And so when I try and impart that, say, "Listen, so and so left you because that then I want to be responsible for your continued unhappiness.
Right.
You're expressing continued unhappiness with this person, and you're not. And if they like a decent human being, they're not going to stay with you if they're continually making you unhappy.
Right.
They're going to move on,
Yeah.
right?
And
We ain't
normally
but
quickly.
sorry."
And normally quickly move on.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Of course, because and then I get it, and I say, "Well, why? They left me. He left me." I said, "Yeah, but you wanted him to leave you." "No, I didn't." I said, "Yeah, you did because you convinced him that you didn't want him around.
Hmm.
Simple as that. You convinced her, you convinced him that you didn't want you around. Like
Yeah.
a guy, if you cheated on your partner, 5 times in a row, what do you think that's going to convince them that you want them in your life? No, it's going to convince them you don't want them in your life. Simple
Exactly.
as
And
that.
it's going to even be more so that you not only don't want them in your life, but you don't need them.
People
You
who are,
know?
if people cheat on their partner, which is actually not as common as people think it is,
Right.
it's usually because their needs are not being fulfilled by their partner.
Yeah. And normally it's because they're not communicating those needs. And I think people have a really hard time with that idea that, yes, you have to say, I need TV time with you. I know you're working 80 hours a week. I know you're doing 100 different things. Can you give me a half hour?
Not only that, people need time to unwind.
Yeah.
When people get home from work and and there's a family and if the woman is lucky enough or the father is lucky enough to stay home with the kids, whoever's staying home with the kids is lucky
Hmm.
and looking after their children. Yes, it's a work. Yes, it's work,
Right.
right? Yes, keeping the house. Yes, all of that is work. No one's denying that. I've done it.
Right.
I do it, right?
Yeah.
Um, but when your partner comes home from working outside of the house and they just need some time to unwind, let them have it.
Yeah.
If they want an hour to themselves, just let me just chill.
Hmm.
That's not how it works.
Yeah.
What a partner experiences, as soon as their partner gets home, you take it over with the kids, you do this, you do that, you go and do this, and why are you being so like that, and why are you being so distant, and why are you not talking, and then all of a sudden it blows up, right?
Yeah.
Because the person has been under so much pressure in that moment and they blow up, and then they say, "Oh, now you're treating me really badly, and now you're yelling at me and calling me names."
And names never got called or yelled at. It was they walk through the door, kick off their shoes that they've been hoping to get rid of all day. And I'm sorry, men get this a good bit, but women get it even worse. Like women get what I call a double sword to it.
Double what sword?
Double sword to it. And
Yeah,
here's why. They have not only the inherent, guilt of having to leave the home to go to work. Don't
right,
care who you are, you got that it bred in you somewhere.
right,
But then they've got to come home, do a load of laundry, cook a dinner, try clean that thing they call a home,
right.
wrangle the children. and
Well,
deal with the stressful. Yeah.
this is where people have to work out their roles in the relationship. Because if a parent is going to be a stay-at-home parent,
Mm-hmm.
right, then that stay-at-home parent is responsible for all the laundry,
Yeah.
the dinner.
Right. But on the reverse end of that, when they don't have the luxury of staying home, and yes, it is a luxury.
You left, you're back, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so I don't. You've got to set roles because if some
Right.
chauvinist guy is sitting at home all day,
Mm-hmm.
right? Yeah, you're frozen.
All
You
right.
froze.
Give me internet.
Yeah.
She'll be with us in a minute. Now she's frozen.
Now I'm frozen.
You're back. You're blurry. Yeah, your reception's messing up. It's okay though.
Is it my
Yeah,
reception? Oh
because
God.
I'm sitting here hearing you tell me I'm frozen and all this, but you're not kidding me. But
Oh, okay.
yeah,
So they've got to set their roles because it's not fair for either partner.
right,
It's not fair to put it on one partner.
right.
Yes. Oh God.
You're fine. Keep going.
So yes, women
Yeah.
are usually put in that role of domestics and whatnot, but
Mm-hmm.
men have to take on that role if that's what if they want to be a stay-at-home dad.
Yeah.
Simple. And it doesn't matter which parent it is, right? If one of
Mm-hmm.
them wants to be, and this stay-at-home role, by the way, is very temporary because kids go to school eventually.
Right.
That stay-at-home role is only 5 years long, and once that 5 years is up, people have to go back to their work routine. So
Mm-hmm.
whoever's staying at home needs to stay in touch with their career,
Mm-hmm.
whatever they want to do, and then when both parents are working, then they both got to share those short chores of doing the laundry, etc.
Yeah.
What's going to
But
happen?
but do you not agree that women tend to get a guilt trip on that?
Women, unfortunately, society from
Mm-hmm.
BC, right, for
Right.
thousands of years, women have been in that nurturing role and men have been in that hunting provider role.
Right.
That's just how it is, right?
Right.
And even though we burn our bras and we fought for women's rights and we wanted to go out and work and fulfill our careers and find a balance and all this jazz
Yeah.
between our kids and work life, all well and good, right?
Mm-hmm.
People still fall back on that primitive role of women are the nurturers and men are the providers. And
Mm-hmm.
so, but if men, if a man wants to be a stay-at-home dad for that first 5 years of their child's life, then
Yeah.
he has to take up that role whether he wants to or not. Simple as that. So when the wife comes home,
Mm-hmm.
everything's done.
Yeah.
Expectations exactly the same.
Right.
Dinner's got to be cooked, kids, homework's done, house is clean, laundry's done. End of story.
Yeah.
There's no, and if they're both out there working, then they both are responsible for those roles, and they
Mm-hmm.
do whatever. You do the laundry, and I'll do this, and you do that, and I'll do that. Share it. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know couples where that works really well. They do share the
Mm-hmm.
role, right?
Right.
Then no one's kind of like really stressed about it. Like they're okay. But
Right.
where they're both usually they're both working and they're both sharing the responsibilities of their kids and whatever domestic they have to do around the
Right.
house. Whatever. So
Yeah.
most of the time it's okay.
Most of the time. But I don't know. I really find that the feminine side of the relationship often feels that guilt going on.
I don't know, not anymore. I mean, they used to, but not as much as they used to, and not anymore.
Yeah.
I mean,
That was-
when they've got kids, they get a lot of people they get the maternity leave, and
Mhm.
depending on their job, their maternity leave can be extended for a period of time. Um, a lot of jobs today respect motherhood, parenting, so
Mhm.
they make more allowances.
Right.
It's like in the old days, forget it.
Yeah.
You couldn't put you couldn't say my child, blah blah blah. Forget it. But nowadays, way employers operate, they do make more allowances for people. The fact that you have family that you need to deal
Right.
with, etc. So therefore, the guilt work ratios dropped a little bit.
A little bit. I'll
Yeah.
go a little that it's dropped a little bit, but I think that subconsciously that guilt role is still there.
Only because of if it is like I did feel guilty, but I had no one looking after my daughter. I had to raise my daughter alone and work and get tons of babysitters and whatnot. So that was a whole different ball game.
Right.
But if you're choosing to go to work after you have your child,
Mm-hmm.
that's a conscious choice you're making if you don't have to go to work. Put it that
Right.
way. If you don't have to go to work, if economically you can stay home, because it's better. Your parents are usually better off if one parent stays home because childcare costs a fortune.
Right. Yeah,
Right.
it does. Is it,
Right. So
you know.
usually economically, people are actually better off with one parent working.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it's more than rent childcare.
Right.
So, um, if you're choosing to do that, then that's a slightly different ball game. You're saying, look, I've had this baby, I've had my maternity leave. Now I'm going to go back to my job because my career is really important to me. I want to excel in my career.
Mm-hmm.
Then that's a choice. I'm not feeling it as a woman. I'm not really feeling that guilt in that
Right.
instance, right?
Right.
But if you're forced to go to work because of the economic situation in your household, then I can
Right.
see where the guilt comes into play. Like maybe I should have waited to have children because now I can't be with my kids and I feel terrible.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not all of one thing or all of the other thing. I think it's some of the other. I
Yeah.
don't think all women feel guilty when they go to work. It depends.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many variables. You can't
Right.
make it an absolute. So, some women are happy to fulfill their career needs and have their children and find that balance. And some women are not happy doing that. So you can't really make it an absolute.
Right. I don't think it's an absolute all the time.
Yeah.
But I also think there are still women out there to this day, and this will shock some people, that feel guilty,
Sure.
like guilty for the basic, like, look, you've got, college bills to pay, you've got, because, student aid and all that, you've got, bills to pay for health care, you've got your home, your health bills. Like, yeah, you could stay home, but the parents would be eating ramen for the next 5 years.
Right.
And
Women, go ahead.
I think that there, on the other side of that, there's this what I call mom shaming going on.
A lot of women, not a lot of women, I'm going to modify that. There are some women that are selfless. Their whole life revolves around making sure their family is okay,
Mm-hmm.
working, and then give themselves no time at all. And if they do, they feel guilty.
Right.
Right. And so that's why it's hard to sort of,
Right.
like, to show, like, to say, so, like, a lot of people feel you can't, because so many different women
Uh-huh.
are operating from different.
I've seen this. You have the moms that do like the homemade cupcakes for the children's party.
Right.
They all the kids show up to school
Right.
perfectly dressed, perfectly coiffed, cologne on a 10-year-old. And then on the other side, and the mother is like dressed to the nines in perfect mommy gear from Gap and, everything in that school pickup line. And
She's obviously not working outside the house.
oh, of course not.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we've got, the other mom who's doing good to get her kid into the school. By the time the bell rings, it's a Lunchable and a paper sack for lunch. She's just what I call holding on to the last fiber of
Right.
sanity.
But that's the person. That's to do with whatever. That's the individual. That's whatever they went through to get to where they are.
Right. She's working doubles at the nursing home or whatever.
If
Doesn't matter.
If they're working doubles then they're not taking their kids to school. Someone else is.
Hopefully.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
there's no time. They won't have. They can't. So someone else is going to be looking after those kids while they're working.
Right.
and doing
but
those things.
but that mom that stays at home and does everything and bakes everything gluten free and all this other crap, that little team together there, um, they will look down on the mom working her ass off.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been working mum since my daughter was born. Basically,
Hmm.
I really couldn't be on paternity leave forever in a day, or But yeah,
Right,
I was so, I guess I was so working so hard and for so long, I didn't even notice what other people were thinking or feeling.
right,
I was just like an overdrive. I was
yeah,
an automatic drive. I just had to do what I had to do and
right.
look after my daughter and make sure she was okay. So
Hmm.
that's it. And then my daughter, she's out there working long hours. You
Hmm.
know, she's got me though.
Right,
So I take the weight off her and I do the house chores and the baking, no gluten free.
right,
So
yeah,
all that and make sure my grandson's okay and whatever, right?
right,
So I help her as like a partner. My
right,
grandson calls us his parents,
right.
right? So, but it's just there are so many variables. I mean, it really, some women aren't even cope, cannot cope with being a parent. Period. And some
Hmm.
women make fantastic parents, and some women are superficial and they're good on the outside but bad on the inside. It's so many different
Right,
variables. And same with men. Some are great dads, some aren't not great dads, some are really poisonous, toxic dads, like you could go on.
right. And I find that it depends for and really and truly, my sister-in-law said this apparently to my husband, and I totally agree with it. I am a lovely infant dad. I am a lovely, probably to about 6 years old, maybe.
Right.
Dad, I can, we can do baseball, we can do soccer, we can do the boo boos and all that. And then I need to check out. Like they need to go off onto like boarding school or something till about 14.
No, not 14.
You know,
Teenagers need to be put in stasis until they're 25.
well, what I mean by that is I
At the
can
boarding
deal.
school, it's stasis.
Uh, I can deal with them when they're the cute, lovable, and it's like, no, John, don't do that. You don't go and put Elmer's glue in into the light socket, or keep your hand out of that, and let's go over here and play. I can do that all day long, twice on Sunday, don't care. I can the 4 a.m. feeding, not a problem. The 2 a.m. feeding, not a problem. The in the car seat, out of the car seat again, not a problem. My problem comes in about that age when they can look at you and say no and mean it. And
That's
there's no arguing
that
with it.
starts at around 10.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's when I'm like, off to boarding school you go until I can have a reasonable adult conversation with you.
That would be when they're around 40. 45.
I don't know. My niece is about 14 because my niece is about that age and I can just now tolerate her.
Now, well, my grandson's 17. He's actually a pretty good kid.
Right.
You can have a really reasonable adult conversation with him.
Yeah.
He's not too bad. I brainwashed him as he was going, don't be a stupid teenager. Don't be a stupid teenager. Don't be an idiot. Listen to it. Listen. You got to listen to
Right.
people. And he listened. He's a good
Yeah.
kid. I mean, he's normal. He's a normal teen. He's not perfect. He has his
Right.
moments. But if he didn't have his moments, I'd be concerned. He
Right.
needs
And
to be a
he should
teenager.
have his
Yeah.
moment. Let's go into some of the commentary we're getting here from
Yeah, I
Devin.
can see. Yeah.
Devin's really, coming in and sitting down at the table with us saying exactly. And we don't get to have downtime until dinner, baths, and some dishes are done. She's talking about being the moms, especially single moms, in charge. Her ex-husband would not help at all either, even when they were both working. And Devin says, I've shown up to school in dirty uniforms when my kids were in school. And she's talking about what I call a preppy mom or the judgmental moms there. They will look down on the working mom and the single working mom even more so.
Yeah, I don't know. I was a single working mum all of my daughter's life.
Right.
I still am,
You
basically.
still are. You're still a single working mom, grandmom too.
Yeah,
But
and my daughter's a single working mum,
yeah,
and
but
she actually was having this conversation with some of her colleagues
uh
the other
huh.
day, and they got into a little bit of a debate.
Yeah.
And so what Devon is saying is kind of a little bit true because they were looking down on
Hmm.
single parents. And
Yeah.
my daughter piped up and said, "Well, not only am I a single parent, I live in the Bronx.
Hmm.
I live in the Bronx. My son goes to a public school, right?
Hmm.
And my son is amazing,
Right.
right? And my mother raised me. She was a single parent, and I'm amazing. She is because
Hmm.
she's a wonderful woman.
She does amazing things,
And she
and
does amazing things every day. And so, what you really only ever need is one good parent.
right. And see, but the problem comes in is when you have that one great super parent
Yeah,
busting their ass, and
right.
then you got these bitty hens, I call them, judging every move that mama's making. Like
Yeah,
she shows up, she sends the kid to school with Oreos for the Valentine's Day party. Oh, heaven forbid. Little Johnny have store bought cookies.
I went through that bitchiness.
Yeah.
I had bitchiness like that going on, but I didn't have time
Hmm.
to validate it.
Right.
I was because when I was younger and I had my daughter when I was 24, everyone thought I was
Right.
a teenage single mom, and I didn't wear a wedding ring. And I didn't. I wasn't married. I was a single mom. I didn't have anything,
Right.
And so that I would get sort of bitchy attitude from people every now and then. But
Hmm.
I didn't have time
Right.
to let it bother me.
Right.
You know, my daughter didn't have all the latest fashion clothes, nor did I. You know,
Right.
we just wore what we wore, like regular clean clothes.
Hmm.
That's it. Jeans, sneakers. My daughter wore a uniform to school 'cause in Australia.
Right.
No matter what school it is, they have uniforms.
Right.
Doesn't matter.
Here's my question to you on that one. Do you think it's better comparative? Because you've now raised two kids, one in a uniform system and one out. Which is it better for the kids?
Um, I think kids need to be comfortable at school. So I'm not really all for the uniform because the
Okay.
uniform can be very uncomfortable, and
Okay.
they need to be. But then again, you're looking at the fashion competition and stuff like that
Right.
goes on when they're not wearing a uniform. Well, I've got a perfect example of that with my grandson. Actually,
Hmm.
my grandson has a uniform in his school,
Okay.
and even though it's a public school,
Well,
and he went middle school, high school. It's the same place.
right.
And the middle schools have to wear khaki pants and a white shirt,
Hmm.
tie. And when they go to high school, it has to be black pants and a white shirt and a tie. So when
Uh-huh.
grandson went to middle school, he was kind of like a bit of an egghead. He was like a real nerd, right? Because he's very smart.
Right.
And he wanted to wear a bow tie. So he was going off to school with his little bow tie, and this is middle school, and his khaki pants. He's all, and then and so as middle school progressed, he became more casual.
Right.
The bow tie went as he got older. Not,
Right. They go out of that phase of let me do something different.
he started to relax more.
Right.
And then the shutdown happened,
Hmm.
lockdown, and then school opened up again, and he had to go to school in uniform. On day one, that didn't happen.
Uh-huh.
Because now it's high school and he's in year 10, right? Goes to school. He's wearing the black pants. He likes wearing black pants, not because it's uniform. And he's got these shirts and stuff that is in very Japanese,
Right. Anime.
anime
Yeah.
and all sorts of Japanese embroidery art and whatnot.
Right.
And he's wearing his hoodie, not supposed to wear a hoodie. He's got his hood up and he's got his buds in, and he's,
Hmm.
you know, he's kind of lucky a little bit because he can get away with it because he gets really high grades.
Right.
So they leave him alone a little bit because he's doing very well at school. But I'm telling you now, it turned into a revolution at his high school because they kept sending letters home, uniform, 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 uniform,
Right.
and no
Yes.
one was wearing it.
Yeah.
No one wore the uniform. Even with the masks, he had all these like fancy masks and
Mm-hmm.
and everything. No one. It turned into a revolution, and no one's wearing the uniform anymore. They wear
Huh.
exactly what they want to school. It was a
Right.
revolution, and they couldn't discipline it anymore, so the letters stopped coming.
Right. Well, my question is, however, is how has that changed his learning environment? By what I mean by the fashion,
It's
like
made it more relaxed. He's more relaxed.
he's
He's
more relaxed.
yeah.
But like the kids that, maybe don't have super grandma and, that black shirt, white pant, black pants, white shirt, whatever was easy because it's a Walmart pickup.
A lot of
I wonder,
kids. Well,
oh, Terror Defender, come on. Come on,
a lot of
girl.
kids. When I just let him pick him up from school anymore, take him to school.
Okay.
Well, now he's independent. He goes by himself.
Right.
But when I used to pick him up and watch the kids come out, some of them
Mhm.
were wearing the uniform, and some of them were just wearing hoodies. No, the kids he goes to school with don't seem to be bitchy, all that bitchy.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what it is. They seem to be more collective. I don't
Right.
know. He never feels bullied.
Right.
He never bullies anybody. Everyone seems to be,
Chill.
yeah.
Yeah.
No one's bothering anyone anymore. And I don't know. I don't know what changed or what that move was, but people do seem to be more relaxed.
Right.
And there are kids that still struggle with because after the shutdown, they lost their sense of routine,
Right.
and so that made it difficult for them to get back into school routine.
Mm-hmm.
My grandson experienced that.
Right.
So, so there was that going on. They made allowances for kids and the teachers became more relaxed. So really, basically, the whole school environment has become more relaxed.
Right. And hopefully it'll hold
It's,
to be that way.
and I think it will because I think it did make some kids excel a bit more.
Right.
They got, more allowances were made, and then they're realizing these allowances that were being made because of the shutdowns and whatnot
Mm-hmm.
seemed to benefit the kids
Mm-hmm.
a lot more than sort of having this strict stress on them all the time. Like you got to wear your uniform, you got to worry about this, and you got to worry about that, and then get yelled at when you're walking down the
Oh,
corridors and whatnot. So basically all of that just faded away, and everyone just seems to be sort of in this relaxed,
relaxed
way
position,
more relaxed.
on point position for right now. And I hope that that continues.
Me
But
too.
no, you really have illustrated that with you and with your daughter, and I'm sure there's been other people involved over the years,
With my
uh,
grandson.
with your grandson,
His
and
dad.
it taking a village,
Yes.
and everyone kind of team working, and this is, and having that shared viewpoint. I think that's something that people miss too. Is it's
Yes.
not just one person, if you're doing the job of four, then you have to take the experience of four. But at the same time, you've got to balance it out and look because, we all have the same amount of time blocks or whatever you want to classify. I'm using HB90, so it's time blocks in a week. And it really depends on how you have to or how you need to spend them.
Right.
And, that really comes into play there. Um, so with that, what are some tips? Because you were a single mom, I'm sure you had your secrets. What are some of your tips?
I don't have any secrets. Look, the only thing I did was study psychology, and I learned some stuff in psychology that helped me. If you ask my daughter, she'll tell you that sometimes she doesn't think I was a great mom.
Okay.
So she's in a
It's
bad
living, breathing, and working, and not been in jail.
So it's how you treat your children. Children don't know anything. They know nothing. They're born with a blank slate, blank. They know zero. They only know what you teach them. And
Mhm.
also, kids are more likely to copy you than listen to you.
Right.
All right. So if you the way to teach your child respect is to treat them with respect, manners. They don't know what manners are unless you show them what manners are. So, may I please have this, or can you please do that? Or I need you to clean up. I'll show you how to do it. This is how you put your toys away. Can you please do it for me next time? Good girl, good boy, positive reinforcement, that kind of thing. That's what I did. Of course, I got into arguments with my daughter over ridiculous things. Of course, she hated me and wished, I would run to run away. And of course, all that stuff happened, right?
Okay.
But in the main was me informing her as much as I could about drugs, sexually transmitted diseases, unsafe sex, sexually transmitted diseases, condoms, protective sex.
Having this tough conversation. Now I have a question for you.
Yeah, from a very young age, I pumped it into her. I borrowed books from the library with graphic diagrams. You've got to give them information. Stranger danger, pedophiles, what they do, this, that, internet danger, bashing Susie's on the internet, who you're talking to, catfishing, the whole thing, as much information as possible was driven in to my daughter and to my grandson.
Right. So I have a question for you. Which parent were you? Were you the one that was like, put on the coat because it's cold outside?
Yes.
And it's your choice. If you don't choose to put on the coat, you're going to get sick. Or were you the one that was like, put on your freaking coat?
I was the one that said, put on your freaking coat because it's freezing outside. And they say no. So I'd say, okay, don't put your coat on and go outside and freeze.
Okay.
And they go outside 5 minutes and they freeze on. Okay, you put your coat on. That's it. And sometimes they gotta learn the hard way. Right. And unfortunately, that's going to have to be the case. If you don't want to wear your coat and you think it's okay and it's 5 below outside, and I've told you you're going to freeze your ass off if you go outside there, fine, go outside. Go. Don't take your coat. Next day, they're taking their coat. That's it.
Yeah.
Because how are they going to learn? Not that I wanted to burn my daughter's finger, but she wanted to touch the stove. So that is very hot. If you touch it, you'll burn. And I did put her finger to the stove. I didn't burn her hand off or set her alight, but this is hot. You'll get burnt. That's it. Sometimes you have to very gently push them to do the right thing. Things are dangerous. You have to. I just would instill a lot of information, a lot of positive reinforcement. I would never put one thing I would never do, no matter how angry I got, to put my daughter down or put my grandson down. I would never say, "Oh, you're so stupid, you'll never make it."
Yeah.
None of that stuff. None of that is never.
The reason I ask is I'm the second one. Put your damn coat on. Let's go. I'm not negotiating. There's not a question. There is I expect this done.
Right.
That's my parenting. I am the old. I am not teaching my child to be a hostage negotiator.
No. Well, you got to learn to negotiate. You got to learn how to negotiate certain things. You got to learn to negotiate. You got to learn how to stand up for themselves.
Yeah, but not at 3.
Yeah, and if you don't let them stand up for themselves, they're never going to learn. So I did give my daughter, excuse me, and my grandson allow them to stand up to me. Because if they think I'm doing something wrong, by all means stand up to me.
Right.
You have a right to do that. Because if I'm doing something that you feel is abusive, or you have a right to let me know that, because communication is important. And if I stifle that communication, if I stop them from standing up to me, then they're going to be gutless.
Right. And I get that. But what I'm saying is not with a 3-year-old. Like, I'm not negotiating with a 3-year-old.
No.
On whether to put a
or
not.
Doesn't have the mental capacity to even understand what cold weather is.
Right.
And a 3-year-old will put their coat on.
Yeah, because you tell them to.
3-year-olds just put it on them. You don't even ask them.
Yeah.
You just put the coat on. It's when they're 10, 11, 12, 13 is when they stop wanting to. Middle schoolers don't want to wear their coats.
Right.
There's even a TikTok about it. They don't want to wear their coats. They stand there and freeze their asses off. there's a phase they go through where they're just too cool to do anything their parents tell them to do.
Right.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
The 3-year-olds, no, because 3-year-olds don't even know what day it is. You just put their coat on, you just dress them. They don't know.
Right.
Same with 5-year-olds.
And the reason I bring this up is earlier this year, I was at Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
And first of all, sorry, single moms, I know you don't get this option, but if there is a dad at home, they should not have to be trucking that baby out. And when I say baby, anyone that cannot push a cart by themselves into a freaking busy store. Like, that's just double whammy there.
Although I had to do it all the time. But nevertheless, if there's a father at home, he is the father. He's just as responsible for the children as the mother is.
Yes.
So he should. So you have to. You have the right to say to him, "Look, I'm going to go shopping," and just walk out the door.
Yeah.
That's it. You don't even think about asking him to look after kids. You have to ask him to look after his own children. He's not a babysitter. He's the father. Right. So if they're going to go to Walmart or whatever and they want to do some heavy duty shopping, and he's sitting there gaming, you're going, by the way, I'm going to go shopping now. See you, and just walk out. That's it. Right. That's what I did, with my daughter when she did with me. I'm going because she knew I was here.
Right.
Right. So, but the thing is that you don't ask. You shouldn't have to ask a parent to look after their own children.
Well, the number of what I call husband children in my area is astounding. Meaning that, they are babies themselves. The mamas took care of them from the birth all the way up until they finally got them married, and heck, probably the first 3 or 4 years of getting married, they took care of them. But anyhow,
look, if I lived with a man that I had to ask to look after his own children, where he'd be living soon.
Exactly.
I tolerate nothing.
Exactly. Neither do I.
He'd be so gone that he wouldn't know what hit him.
Right. So this kid is probably 3 or 5 years old.
Right.
And this poor mom is trying to get this kid to put on a coat so that they can leave the store. Johnny, please put on your coat. Johnny, come on, put on your coat. Please, please. And I am like, pick the kid up, throw the coat on them.
Yes. It's going to be a struggle, and it's going to be a crime because the kid's probably tired or something, or hungry or whatever.
Hungry and fed up and bored.
And just put the coat on and just go. I never had an issue with my daughter and my grandson when they were 5.
Right.
They were totally under my control. There was no,
Yeah.
I would just dress them, get them going, because I haven't got time for bullshit,
Right.
And they knew it. They kind of just complied, There was no like, I don't know why anyone has that much of a hassle with it. I went Thanksgiving shopping one time. We have a Stop and Shop by here that closed down for renovations, and when it was before renovations, it used to deliver, right? And I went Thanksgiving shopping. You know how big Thanksgiving shopping is, right? I had to get a lot of stuff, right? And I thought, well, I'll just go there, get everything, get it delivered. When it opened from the renovation, no, we don't deliver anymore. And you want to deliver, you have to order everything online. And I hate ordering that kind of stuff online because I need to feel things and touch things, And so here I am with a 2-year-old. Bastion was 2. And Bryn was at work. And I've got like 8 grocery bags full of groceries, turkey, the whole 9.
Right.
And I've got 4 grocery bags on each arm, and Bastion's not in a stroller because I figured we're going to go there and leave. I don't need to put him in a stroller. I'm in the bus.
Right.
I don't even have my car. Right. And I had to do all of that with a 2-year-old. My arms were breaking. I'm my back is destroyed. Get on the bus. Make sure you get on the bus safely. Right. Look like a transformer. And make sure he's sitting safely. Get off the bus. Same routine. Walk to my apartment. That's it.
Right.
And I didn't have. There's no way that Bastion didn't squeak during that whole thing.
Right.
Not a squeak, because he knew they kind of know that if you're in control.
Right.
you're in control. That's it. There's no. I want to put my coat on. I never took his coat off, let alone
Right.
put his coat to put it back on again. It's just,
Right.
don't think that happens. You're in control.
Right. And that's what I'm used to. Is like, why are you negotiating? And I'm like, oh my God, this mother is in, having to negotiate everything. Like
Well,
they're
that's
at a
what they're
great
choosing to
point.
do. What they're teaching their kids to be. What are you negotiating? Put
Yeah.
your, put it on.
Yeah. I'm of the same mindset. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. And then we wonder why people cannot make this, why, in today's time, 18-year-olds, oh my God, 18-year-olds nowadays cannot make decisions. It's because they've been taught that everything is a negotiation. And it's like, no, it's Friday at 2
There's,
o'clock. You get your paycheck.
there's difference between negotiation and learning something the hard way. They're
Right,
different things, you know.
right.
You putting on your coat when you're 13. A lot of kids that age don't want to put their coat on. You tell them like it's cold outside. They know it's cold out. They're not going to freeze their ass off. They know all of this.
Right.
It's no negotiation. Do it. If you want to freeze your ass off, by all means, go ahead and do it. I don't care.
Hmm.
Do it. Right. And then they don't do it. Right. But, like, it, it just comes down to, don't be mamby-pamby with your kids when they're babies, because when
Right.
they're babies, they need to know you're in control. Because they don't think you're in control. They're
Right.
scared and out of control.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
When they were younger, they had to put it on. But when they got older, I let them make their own choices.
Great.
My kids are stubborn enough that they suffer out of spite. Laugh out loud.
Yes.
Shannon says, teenagers live in hoodies year round,
Correct.
-10 or 100 degrees. Yeah, I think it's the hormones that makes them colder. Shannon also, she has a lovely husband. Oh my God, yeah. Edwin had some culture shock when he found out he had to tend to his children so I could go to the store. Um, and congratulations for your youngest who just
Shannon.
called in her own prescription today.
There you go, Shannon. You're doing a great job.
Yeah, but those
Yeah,
are the
Shannon.
things that people are like, oh my God, that's so terrible. Or even worse.
My
I don't
grandson wore his hoodie in Vegas. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, what were you saying?
know. Even worse, moms that are working and they're making enough money that they're able to have help. Oh my God! In this little Boone burger, Lord heaven help you.
I know. All I know is I made sure they were loved.
Hmm.
That's a key thing.
Right.
Love is the essence, and I always gave them a lot of positive reinforcement. That's really important because they feel good about who they are. Therefore, they excel more, and that's really important too. That's
Right.
really important.
Right.
But my daughter, when she gets angry, she'll say I'm the worst parent in the world, or I wasn't perfect.
You are. Because she's angry. You're the worst parent in
Yes,
the world.
yeah.
Not because you actually are, because I think you're a great mom.
I
You brought
think
her to America. You raised her on your own. You guys have done really good with her. And with the grandson who is doing really great in school. There's no behavioral problems. He lives in Brooklyn and he doesn't pack a 9 millimeter at his age.
he lives
I'm
in the
impressed.
Bronx. We live in a really good neighborhood.
Uh huh.
Good, we're well known around the area.
Hmm.
Um, it, a lot of crazy stuff going on around us. Yes, but look, you know,
Yeah.
we're a good little family. I'm
Right.
happy. Yeah, I'm happy.
And it's like us three. We do really well. Well, four, counting Mom and I, because Mom and I's now here once a week because that's just how we're shuffling the deck right now.
Right.
But the bigger thing here, and for people to take away, even if you don't have children, even if you're in a partnership or you've got to sit down and define the roles. The roles are no longer the same roles they used to be. I was talking to a dad, and he's like, "My wife has a business; she's killing it. I don't have, I technically could stay home with the kids, but what would the guys say?" And I'm like, "They'd say lucky."
Who cares what the guys say?
Yeah,
They're not paying your bills, buddy. Who cares what they say?
right.
You know?
But and that's so many nuances to relationships nowadays,
Right.
from roles and discussions of roles and expectations of roles, but also words. And me and Techie have talked about this on another show about our meaning of cheating is something totally different than most people's meaning of cheating.
Right. What
Okay,
if you, yeah,
my meaning of cheating, he better not open a bank account with someone else.
right.
He better not go buy go buy a house without at least debating it with me, because that's over $500.
Right.
That's cheating to me.
Yes.
Okay,
Anything that's not loyal. Doesn't have to be
well,
with another person. It can be just anything they're doing behind your back, or it's not talk, discussing certain big decisions with you.
right. That's what I'm saying. Like, I
Yeah.
don't care if he is talking and flirting and liking this dude's stuff or this girl's stuff all over the Facebook. I don't give a damn. I don't care. I don't care if he is, plans to take off every, month and a half on vacation somewhere, or to go do a job in Tallahassee. Is the money in my bank account that is supposed to be in my bank account? Is it the only bank account we have?
Yeah.
You know, you know, well, today I just bought two new monitors for my new desk because I need dual monitors.
Right.
And there was a discussion of which ones are we getting, because it was over our agreed amount.
Right.
You know, if I ran off and just went and bought them, well, he'd probably look at me and go, "You got the wrong ones. They're too big, too small, too whatever. Not the nice this, not that." But the bigger part there is that would have been cheating to us. Like, we would have rip roared and started a new fight.
Exactly.
You know, because that's our definition of cheating.
And I 100% agree with that
Yeah,
definition. Absolutely, yes.
yeah. But you know, we both deal with it all the time, and it drives me up the wall. He liked this person's story. He didn't even care about the damn story. His fat finger moved over it. He may not even know this person. Furthermore, why do you care? Is he home every night? Is your bills paid? Is he taking you out? Is he treating you nice? Is he talking to you? Is he fulfilling your needs?
Or would you rather be the person on Facebook where you like the post and that's it?
Exactly. You
Which
know,
one do you want? You want to like with him, or do you want to be someone on
right.
Facebook? Uh, Look, my mother came out with that. I've said this before. It
Hmm.
doesn't matter where they get their appetite as long as they eat at home.
Exactly. And that's like, I think we need to do a shirt. I need to add that to our shirts.
Yes, doesn't matter
You
where
have
you.
to do one of those. It doesn't matter where they get it. What menu it is, as long as they eat at home.
Correct.
For me, it doesn't matter where they make their money at, just as long as it hits my bank account.
Correct.
That's where I am at with it. And I think that we sit there and we talk about the time we spend in relationships, and which house we're going to move into, or if we're going to get our own new house, and all this stuff. But we rarely sit and debate over base terms.
Right.
Like, what is a sandwich? For me, a sandwich is a one of the wraps with meat, cheese, and some
Whatever.
sauce.
Right.
I'm sure your sandwiches are, two slices of sourdough bread and, whatever you like on your sandwich.
A
Or,
Big Mac, I mean, a quarter pounder from McDonald's.
yeah, even that. We talk about that stupid stuff, but we don't define, especially in today's time and era, what many of these words mean.
Right.
What do they actually, when we boil them down, what does the words actually mean?
Well, cheating just means you're being lied to. one way or another. They're
Right.
going behind your back. And I think that's what hurts more than anything.
Right.
It's the fact that you've been lied to
Mm-hmm.
and base life decisions on those lies.
Right. But
Therefore, you're being violated.
uh-huh.
If someone is lying to you to that extent, you're basing life decisions on that lie.
Mm-hmm.
Your life is violated. You're being violated.
Right. And I get that definition.
Yeah.
But people are taking that definition of, well, so, they're not telling you something, or they're lying to you. You know how many times I've looked at Joe and gone, "No, honey, I don't know what I've gotten for your birthday yet." That's lying, but it's not going to destroy the relationship.
No, there's lies. Look, we all lie. There's no
Yeah.
we're all guilty, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's lies that you tell that are white lies, like a surprise birthday party,
Right.
or you pay, I don't know, you want to buy someone a surprise gift or whatever. You
Right.
want a surprise vacation, right? There's lying to protect a person or to surprise a person that doesn't affect their life one way or another. If anything, at the end of the day, it's going to make their life better.
Right.
And then there's lying that's going to that they're making their life decisions on that's going to destroy their lives.
Right.
Right. So lying about important things that are going to destroy someone else's life
Mm-hmm.
is a violation on their life.
Right.
Right. So lying about you throwing them a surprise party is not a violation. It's not because they're going to benefit from that in some way, or their Christmas present.
Well, we hope they are.
Yeah. Like Secret Santa, you basically, you're omitting stuff. So if you're omitting stuff, you're lying. So
Right.
a Secret Santa, but a Secret Santa is always a nice thing, right?
Right.
But if you're lying to someone and saying like no, and you're gaslighting them, and you're taking all their money and you're committing fraud in their bank account and their lives, and breaking up their relationships and hurting, and all these things are hurting them.
Right.
That's a violation. That's an intrusion on their life.
Exactly. But that's where you have to sit down and talk about it, and
Well,
honestly and truly talk about it.
Unfortunately, if someone is that evil,
Mm-hmm.
then they're going to gaslight you. They're not going to talk about it because it's a lie. They're going to admit they're lying.
Right. But I'm saying early on,
at you.
Early on. I'm talking like third date on.
Right.
Have a conversation about what you define as cheating, because it may not match what they define as cheating.
Right.
Them hanging out with their old girlfriend
is not cheating. I had it.
It's not cheating.
It's not cheating. Just to change the topic just a little bit, someone says to me, "Oh, my so and so's ex called my boyfriend, girlfriend," right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah,
does he want to be with her? Does she want no? Because if they want to be together, what do you think is stopping them from being together?
Right. Yeah,
that's what they want. Do you think you're stopping them from being together because you're not?
Right.
Because people, in essence, slowly do what they want to do. So he's not cheating, or she's not cheating because they spoke to an ex.
Right.
That's it. The ex probably called in and say, "How you doing? It's been 6 months, and I've moved on. How's your new relationship?" Having a conversation. That's it. An ex is called an ex because they are an ex. That's it.
For a reason.
Exactly.
And, when they go, "Oh, he's been talking to his ex," I said, where's he at night? And they go, "Well, he's home in bed." "Where's the paycheck?" "In the bank account." "What's your problem?"
Exactly. I hate the thing where, does she have feelings for him? And I say, so what if she does?
Right.
How she feels or he feels, is irrelevant.
Right.
What they want is irrelevant. It's what your partner wants is the only thing you should be worried about.
Right.
Your partner wants to be with you. That's all you need to know.
Right.
You don't need to know what their ex is doing.
Right.
Your business. They're finished. They're gone. Well, who cares how they feel? Who cares what they want? Who cares if they get married? It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because your partner, the only person that counts is your partner.
Right.
Not their ex.
And here's the other part of this. Okay. My partner in a partner role would never call my boss. for any reason, why the hell are you trying to talk to, why are you sticking your nose in, their work business?
Oh no, no, that's a big no.
Or, why are you sticking your,
That's excuse me. That's a huge no.
yeah,
That's huge. That's harassment. That's one step too far. That's crossing the line. You
exactly.
never, ever call
Right.
someone's boss.
Yeah. And we're going to have to go because we're running out of time. But that's what we're going to talk about next time. Me and Sandie sit down. We're going to talk about boundaries in a relationship.
Yes.
I think that will be a lovely topic.
I think it'd be a very good one.
Too.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Sandie, how can we get a hold of you?
Okay, so Keen, and my extension number is 01068. I remember it now.
Yes.
And I'm willing to talk about anything you want to talk about. Don't hold back. I'm not going to judge anyone. It's not my thing. I don't do judge anyone.
Yeah.
So just call me whenever you're ready, whenever you need any answers on anything, anything. Just let me know.
Right.
So
and that's keen.com /Sandie IE star.
Correct. And the extension number is 01068.
Right. And of course, you can find me. I'm Aeson Knight on everything. Don't care what it is. Just type in Aeson Knight. You'll find me. If not, send me the link and I'll be there in about a week.
Okay.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. You guys have a great night. We'll see you next time.
See you
Bye,
later, guys. Bye-bye.